Okay. Can you hear me, Suraj? Before we start for today's stream? Mic testing 1 2 3 4 5 6. Looks like there is some background noise. Hello, hello. Mic testing 1 2 3. Hello, hello. Okay. Looks like I'm audible to myself. But hello. I think we are live now on both the channels, CodeChef and RNC 403, and you can also find the same on Twitch as well. So, yes, once. Hey, hello everyone. So, for the okay, I think we have just started, and once just setting up some basics. Okay, so like it's almost 50 minutes into the contest right now. Okay, let's start it this way. Hello everyone. We have just started with the commentary for the ACMS finals, which is happening right now in three different places. Four different places. In fact, Mathura, Dhaka, Tehran, and Topi. Teams from all the countries like India, Iran, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan are participating today. There are around 60 teams in the contest. Almost everyone has solved the first problem. 16 teams have solved the second problems. And then 322 is the problem distribution right now. Total, we have 11 problems today. And you can find the link of Codeforces blog. You can check out the Codeforces blog for all the problem statement, current rank list, and all. So like the Codeforces blog is in the pinned comments, and like you can find the rank list to look out for your favorite team. So the team at the top is Balman Peak, which is the team from Iran, Sharif University of Technology. Like everyone in the team is more than 2800 rated, and probably after a long time, like teams from Iran are in fact participating in this regional this time. Then the next team is 404 Solution Not Found. They are from IIT Indore, solved three problems. Team from Iran has solved four problems. On the spectrum from IIT Delhi has solved three problems again. Hey, I do CP again from IIT Roorkee has solved three problems. And BRAC Crows from Bangladesh of Barak University has solved two problems, are at rank 5. 998244353, like a good prime mod number. The team from Bangladesh or Rajasthan University of Engineering and Technology has solved two problems. IIT BHU Pucha Kya has solved two problems. IIT Roorkee Biotem has solved two problems again. CMI has solved two problems. ISAD and Bangladesh University of Technology has solved two problems again. BOU ET Quasar. Yeah. So that's the current read of the contest, and yes, that's where we are. So overall, this is where we are. And let me know like which is the team you guys are cheering for. Okay, lazy coders. This is where we are. So yes. So like let's first find out first to solve for each problem and give a shout out to them as well. This first problem is suffix array. Like it's a cute problem. We will okay first to solve the problem was like okay first team to solve suffix array was the team from IIT Indore, currently ranked at 2404, solution not found. And like they solved this problem with just five, with just 5 minutes into the contest, I would say. And like this is in fact a cute problem, but let's move ahead and look at first to solve. First team to solve JADDOP looks like it's again the same team. Yes, it's again 404, solution not found from IIT Indore. They solved it at apparently almost 10-minute mark. First team to solve unit subsequence looks like it's again IIT Indore. They solved it at around 31-minute mark. First team to solve delete sub, at least it's not IIT Roorkee this time. Sorry, IIT Indore this time. Is the team Balmer Peak from Iran Salif University of Technology. First team to solve LCM range is team IIT Roorkee, which is like this is the only problem they have solved so far. And like the team is name is Mushroom. So that's where we stand. Well, I think we can go through some of the problem statement as well. Like suffix array, I believe, is the easiest problem, and like the problem statement is the most interesting one. Like you are given a string s of length, and the suffix string of s are non-empty strings which can be found by deleting some possibly zero characters from the beginning of the string. That is for each I, the string from si to sn is the suffix of s. There are n minus one suffix strings of s having length greater than 2. greater than equal to 2. Your task is to sort the suffix strings in lexicographical increasing order and then print the second character in each string. So like the problem looks like standard setup of suffix array where like you have to first sort all the strings in the suffix array and then print the second character in the suffix array. Second character of all those strings. Like, can you do something smartly to get this done? Like for example, if the first character string is Asia, then there are four suffixes here: Asia, SIA, and IA. And the second character of each, if you sort them, like the sorted order would be Asia, I, and Sia. And the second character in this order would be SAI, hence you should print Psi here. And so that's where we are. So like people in the chat, do let us know like what do you think the solution for this problem would be? Like, do you really need a suffix array here, or you can do something more smartly here? So that's the easiest problem for today, and I believe almost everyone has solved it. Oh wait, everyone except the team Mushroom from IT Rootki, like because they are the only team to solve LCM range problems so far. So we have teams from all the countries: Iran, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. Looks like no team from Afghanistan or Sri Lanka yet. So like let's look at all submissions tab as well. Like CodeChef link, I believe is not public yet, so that's why like you cannot access the contest interface to begin. Like rank list, you can find it in the pin comments. Like there is a Codeforces blog there you can find this sheet link. Like lately, I have been very busy, so pretty much you can see like I am not discussing majority of the context right now. Okay, looks like teams are getting ACs on JabDop and subcount JackDop. I think we can also look at jagged operations. An array of size n is called jagged if and only if there exists some triplet of indexes ijk such that ai is greater than aj and aj is less than ek. You are given an array A, you want to make it not jagged. To do this, you can do the following operation as many times as you need. Choose L, R, and X, and then add X to all the indexes from the range L to R. Formally set AI equal to AI plus X for some elements from L to R. And then we have to find minimum number of operations needed to make it a jagged sequence. Okay, rank list questions are in PDF format. We cannot test it again. Like, unfortunately, that's where we are. And like probably problems would be released sometime later after probably few months, but right now like that's all we have. Okay, looks like there are no updates at the top yet. Okay, like Iran's team has solved 4 problems by the way, not 3. Okay, looks like IIT Roorkee team hey I do CP has also solved the 4th problem, and looks like they went for LCM range. So like they are the second team to solve 4 problems so far, while almost everyone is on delete sub. Okay, counting is fun is also solved now. Like the team is they solved this problem with around 70 minutes into the contest. The team is Triple IT. Team is name is Sapta Square from Triple IT Hyderabad. Like these are the winners. Count Fund 42. Like this reminds me. Like I know the teams that have won regionals, but not which team won which regional. I believe Sapta Square won the Kanpur regional, like the first regional that happened, and the distribution was like the second regional, which I believe was Amritapuri, was won by CMI, and the third regional was won by IIT Delhi. That's my on the spectrum, like that's what I remember. But I think I will go ahead and check who won what. Okay, CMI won Amritapuri ISAT. That's correct. And Kanpur regional was won by Sapta Square. That's also correct. And yes, like the Chennai regional was won by IIT Delhi. Let's see if I can find the winner of regionals from the other countries. Looks like we don't know who won like Afghanistan regional, but the winner from Dhaka regional is SUST Fantastics, Sajal University of Science and Technology. Let's see where they are right now. Okay, they are at rank 18 right now with 2 solves. And like Ballman Peak was the winner of Iran regional. Okay, there like top three teams in Iran regional were Sharif University of Technology. Each of them solved eight problems. So like the other two team cannot qualify for the world finals and they could not participate in East West either. So like these two guys could not even participate here. And Sensodyne is at rank 8 right now, and Castellum is at rank 17 right now. Okay, looks like the winner of Pakistan regional is not even participating here, which was team Proxima from NU Fast Karachi. The second team was Code Pledins from Habib University. Third team in the regional was 3 a.m. from National University of Science and Technology, Islamabad. And Purple Hat was the fifth team in their regional. Okay, someone in the chat asked, aren't regional winners directly qualified for the World Finals? The answer is yes. And as a result, no other team from their college participate in ASMS. Like the major reason they are participating here is like they want to meet other folks again on an on-site, and some breaking rights that they also won ASMS defeating all the teams here. Okay, one of the questions someone was, I was doing rating wise problems on Codeforces range from X to X plus 2. How many problems should be done for each rating range? Like there is no fixed number, to be honest. Like it all depends on when you are comfortable with. And another advice I have is like you can participate in contests and keep trying to solve them. How many teams qualify for, like I don't know about this time, like generally that count is declared at the very end. Generally it has been around 15 teams overall from the complete Asia West. So like the number from this contest becomes 15 minus the number of regional contests we have. Like there is, like you can look at the pinned comment for a Codeforces blog. And this has this rank list available here, which you can find it here. Like that is periodically syncing with the thing. Do college sponsor students for ICPC regional and world finals? Like depends upon college to college. Some college do, some don't. Like and in my time, like for the regional, generally we used to manage it, and for the world finals, we used to ask the college to sponsor us for us. Mhm. Looks like distance count array is also solved now, and try night is also solved. Distance array is solved by Sharif University of Technology. So they are at 5 problem solves now. They were the first team to solve this problem, and roughly 72 minutes into the contest. And try night was also solved simultaneously at the same time. It was solved by team BUET Quester from Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. They roughly solved it again around 72 minutes into the contest. So at this point, we have around 8 problems solved among the 11 problems we have. So that's where we are. So the current rank list stands. Balmer Peak has solved 5 problems and are at the top. Then we have team Hey Hey I Do CP from IIT Roorkee with 4 problems. Then we also have a team On the Spectrum from IIT Delhi with 4 problems again. Then we have multiple teams with 3 problems solved, like at least 14 teams. To name some few, like 404 solution not found from IIT Indore, BRACU Cross from Barak University. Then we have team ISAT from CMI. Then we have Bytam Eskers from IIT Roorkee. Then we have Subtask from IIIT Hyderabad. Then we have team variables from IIT Kanpur. And then we have SUST Fantastics from Sajal University of Science and Technology. Let's see if anyone is even trying the remaining. Okay, looks like East West University in Bangladesh is trying construct you. Like this is expected to be on the harder side. No one has tried greedy price yet, and no one has tried majority graph. So that's where we stand. It's around roughly like 90 minutes into the contest. We have 3.5 hours more in the contest. Like CodeChef rank list is not public, to be honest. So even if I give you a link, you won't be able to access it. Like that's where you can probably find which problem has been solved and how many ACs on which problem. If people in the chat, do let us know which team you are supporting here. Like it's around 90 minutes have passed in the contest. Looks like more teams are trying on TriNet. Okay, it's a WA for team DDD, which is from IIT Bombay. Okay, how to become master? Like I think the drill is same. You have to participate in contests, solve problems after the contest, which you cannot solve in the contest. And generally, solving one and two problems more than what you solved in the contest is more than enough to reach whatever rating you want. Just that you have to keep doing it for a longer period of time. Okay, you are supporting Aloo Paratha. Aloo Paratha is from IIT Kharagpur. Okay, team segment track from IIT Kanpur has also solved 4 problems now. And team 404 solution not from IIT Indore is at 3 problems still. I think let's rate the third easiest problem as well. Unique subsequence, an array A of length n is said to be good if and only if every subsequence of length n appears at most once in the array. For example, array A122 is not good for the length parameter m equal to 2 because subsequence 1 to appears twice. On the other hand, it would be good with parameter m equal to 3. Given n and m, count the number of arrays A satisfying the following condition. Length of A is n. All AIs are between 1 to n. A is good. Since the answer can be large, printed modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 8. Like, notice it's unusual mod, like it's 8, not 9. Then the fourth problem we have is deletable subarrays. An array B is called deletable if and only if it can be made completely empty by the use of following operations several times. Choose I such that bi is equal to bi plus 1 and delete both of them from the array. Given an array A of length n, count the number of deletable subarrays. Formally compute this sum. The first line of input contains single integer t, then the array. Probably the way I will look at it is like we need to count number of balanced parentheses with the constraint that every number is same here. Like we can have a lot of coloring here. The array is up to 2v5. So like probably this is I haven't tried problems before, so like I don't have answers handy, but yeah. Okay, please make a video on topics to learn according to rating wise. Like I think there are already a lot of videos available there. So you can probably look at Ericto's channel or TMW, like they have at least some videos on how to practice, etc. We have more teams with 4 ACs now. I start from CMI has also solved 4 problems. Subtask from IIT Indore has also solved 4 problems. IIT Bombay DDD has also solved 4 problems now. Okay, by the way, is anyone following Codeforces Blitz now? Tourist versus conqueror of tourists. I think that was definitely done for this very purpose only. So I think I also did it, but I ended up getting crushed by 244 MHQ. Okay, I saw you saw my name in the blog, but no pairing in the real event. Like essentially, like it started with 64 participants, and right now it's down to 16 participants. 16 or probably 32. So like I ended up losing the very first match itself. So, and it is an elimination round. So like and like probably we are streaming the later matches like from quarter final onwards, and the way place where I was out was round of 64 to begin with. So that's why no, like it was not a 1 second loss, like 1 second loss for just one problem. But even if I would have won on that 1 second, I would have lost because like 244 MHQ was really fast on all the remaining problems. So in the end, like that 1 second loss on that one particular problem didn't really matter. So like this was a problem, the like 2 second problem, and like this was round one here, like where you can find all the parties. And like the score with 244 MHQ stands, I solved the first problem and he ended up winning on all the problems. This was 1 second. This might have been like 0-2 as well. So in that case, score would have been 43. No, like there were more Indian participants. ENEM was also from India. He was he lost to Israf in round two. I think Dominator also applied initially, but at the same time he probably decided to focus more on preparing problems for this contest. So like top 15, like matches for top 16 would be live streaming today and tomorrow, and it started with 64 participants. And you can find like everyone here, like for all the older participants. So it looks like someone solved greedy price. Okay, greedy price is also solved now. Greedy price is solved by Sarif University again. They solved it around 98 minutes into the contest. So Sarif has solved 6 problems so far, like Team Balmer Peak. Then IIT Delhi has also solved 5 problems now. What is which is the recent problem? Let's see. Okay, they have recently solved LCM range. And then we have more teams at 4 problems solved. Like the onsite is happening at 4 different places right now. Mathura for the teams in India, Dhaka for the teams in Bangladesh, Tehran and Topi as well. I think Tehran is in Iran and Topi is in Pakistan. We don't have teams from Sri Lanka or Afghanistan. Thanks. Okay, thanks, Abdul. And how importance of discrete math for CP? How does one formally prove? Like formally proving is a kind of art I see, and most of the time, what I end up doing is I search for greedy test counter test cases for the assumptions I have, and it also comes with experience for me at least. But I think for at least for CP, you don't have to formally write and hence prove statement to solve the problem, but at least you should be able to convince yourself that something would be working. Not like, hey, this might work, let's try it out. And that's where we are. Okay, NITK rank list. And I think a Dominator has a good blog about it, like probably how to solve problems. You can check that out. Okay, NITK is at 45 right now. Team try harder. They have solved the easiest problem of the contest, which is suffix array. Are there any contests similar to ICPC for a student who passed out of undergraduate? Like ICPC is in fact also for postgrads and PhDs as well. Like there's some minimum eligibility criteria based on what your age asset is, but technically you can participate if you are doing a master's or a PhD. You'll have to just check for what the eligibility criteria is. I think I had a blog on this one, like a guide for Indian ICPC. Okay, like the eligibility criteria for this year was like this was the eligibility criteria for this year. Like basic idea is you should be graduated in one university, not participate in regionals more than 5 times, not participate in world finals more than 2 times. Then if you started college after 2020, you were eligible. If you were born in 2021 or later, you were eligible. Otherwise, it's the eighth semester, and if none of this satisfied, you can probably ask your coach to request ICPC to allow you to participate. Like the only condition is like that should not bring extra advantage to you. Like probably if you are just starting out, then that is often granted. Like I'm not sure how does it work, but you can try reaching out. And then if you are allowed, then you can participate. Otherwise, you leave it. So like the basic requirement is you should be registered in an university at least, and then there are different criteria. With that said, are there contests, similar contests for people who are not in college? I think then you have to be really, really good at it. There are few contests, but hold on. Okay. But like there are very few contests. Like one Universal Cup is there, which has an onsite, but at the end of the day, it boils down to top 50, 60 teams in computer programming. Hacker Cup is now online, which is top 25. But like at least you can participate in Universal Cup contest in general. And like Hacker Cup even gives you T-shirt for around 2,000 participants in a year. So even if we do not qualify for the final round, there are multiple rounds there to begin with. Yandex Cup is also there. Then ICPC and IOI for college and school students are there. Then we have also at Code World Tour finals, like but like the final event, on-site event boils down to just 8 people there. MIT Invitational is also there, an on-site contest in MIT, but that is again top X people for the final round. Preliminary round, multiple people can participate. And essentially, these are the contests. Earlier, there used to be a lot more contests, to be honest, like CodeChef, Snackdown, Top Coder Open. Like Open was similar to what we had for the World Finals, and then there were Top Coder regional contests as well, VK Cup, etc. So at the end of the day, like day by day, such competitions are reducing, but that's where we are. Okay, if I were to make a guess on why, like there are no participants on Top Coder, like the reason is what I feel is like their interface was not so beginner friendly. Like at this point, people expect interface similar to Codeforces, where you can just type in the contest and just submit there. While Top Coder required a lot of setup there to begin with. So that was not beginner friendly. As a side effect of that, number of participants were reducing day by day, and because the participants were reducing, then Top Coder also was also less interested in like that's the vicious cycle I would say beginning. Okay, looks like almost every team has solved. There is also an announcement in the contest. Do you think LM model can be a top legendary grandmaster? At this point, I believe yes. Do you think Dominator 069 will become first legendary grandmaster from India? Dominator, yes, can be one of those folks. Like I think at this point it's a close fight between Dominator and Sitish Sodani, and I believe both of them have potential to become legendary grandmasters. So if the question is first, then it's a 50% chance. And if the question is can he be legendary grandmaster, then I think for sure. Okay, looks like team Sensodyne from University of Tehran has also solved 5 problems. I think I will take break for some time, and I will probably leave this rank list here. Okay, looks like there are updates in the contest. Like we have now 5 teams with at least 5 problems solved. Code doing from IIT Kanpur has also solved the fifth problem. And like the team ISAT from CMI has also solved the fourth problem, which was count distinct arrays. So overall, the score distribution stands to like we have 9 problems solved so far among the 11 problems we have. Okay, looks like on the spectrum from IIT Delhi has also solved the sixth problem. The very recent problem they have solved is China. So we have 2 problems at 6 ACs, then 4 teams at 5 ACs, and then 6 teams with at least 4 ACs, and then 3 ACs. Okay, the status right now is status right now is Team Balmain Peak from Serif University of Technology has solved 8 problems. Behind them is Team on the Spectrum from IIT Delhi with 6 problems. Then we have Team ISAR from CMI with 6 problems. So, like these 3 teams are the regional winners who have directly qualified for the World Finals. Then we have Team Code Banks from IIT Kanpur with 6 problems. Then we have Team Hey Hey I Do CP from IIT Roorkee. Then we have Subtask Layer from IIT Hyderabad with 5 problems. They have already qualified for the World Finals. Then we have Sensodyne from University of Tehran with 5 problems. Then we have the Team Pros from Brack University with 5 problems. Then we have SUST Fanatics from Sarjal University of Science and Technology, again 5 problems. Then we have Team Puchakia from IIT BHU with 5 problems. Then we have Team DDD from IIT Bombay with 5 problems. And we have Segment Track again from IIT Kanpur with 5 problems. So in fact, we have actually 2 teams from IIT Kanpur. And the lead they have taken, one of them has 6 problems, one of them has 5 problems. So that's where we are right now. We do not have any new problems solved right now, but right now we have 1 AC on greedy prices, 2 AC on counting is fun and counting distance arrays, 10 ACs on deletable subtasks, 14 on trinite, 19 on LCM out range, 29 on unique subsequence counting, 49 jagged operation, and everything has solved suffix array. Like unfortunately, CodeChef rank list is not public, so even if I give you the rank list, you won't be able to see anything there. Okay, for problem F, like I can just quickly check what participants are doing. Like this was also the time when I'm reading these problems. Okay, everyone is finding out the length of value, length of prefix suffix. Like basically the number of changes in prefix, number of changes in suffix, and then you can take the minimum of them. The idea is you can fix one prefix and one suffix with one operations. Mhm. Okay, team Bellman Peak has solved 9 problems at If University. So they have pretty much solved every solved problem that has been solved so far. And we are just half an like the time is approximately half into the contest. So they have 2.5 hours more to try out last 2 problems. They have just solved trinite 6 minutes ago. Like the idea for the F is like the if you look at the final array, it should look like some increasing value and then some decreasing value, because you cannot have a dip. So only thing you can have is you can increase up to some time, decrease up to some time. So the idea is, let's say we increase up to the I time, then how many elements we will have to change so that we can have increasing value up to the ith element. The idea is we count how many dips are there. And for suffix part, we also calculate like how many nearby element which are greater than the previous element, something like that. Then the idea is you can fix one element from prefix, one element from suffix in one go, and something like that. I think I will probably editorials would be out, and if I have a whiteboard, I will probably end up explaining it on a whiteboard. Is it going to be an AK? Like, but if university is too good, like I won't be surprised if they end up solving all problems. So like this is Sharif University's World Finals history so far. They have participated 22 times, and this does not include the World Finals where their visa was denied. So in the recent World Finals, their rank was 23, the same team, and they were Asia champions back then. And they participated in Dhaka World Finals, where they were ranked 63. They also won bronze medal in the ICPC World Finals 2009, and they have a silver medal in 2001 World Finals as well. So overall, the team is really strong. Like they have pretty consistently participants rated more than 2800. Like all the three participants rated more than 2800, and like they have also like II gold and silver medals. 2600. 2600 again, and 2982. So like I don't know where someone lives, but like this is what these are the this is the college they are representing. Yes, this team was the ACS champion in the last World Finals. Like, we also have with Ray with us, Dominator 069. Hey, hi
Hi,
Sreyan.
hi, hi.
Okay, 1 second. Let me also take headphones. Hello.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where you are like, Sreyan, like, what is your feedback about this contest to begin with? Like,
Hmm.
what do you see? What do you who do you think will win the contest? Who would be second, third,
Well,
and so?
it's not really a question right now who will win the contest. Like it's pretty much decided.
Right.
Other than that, second, like all the teams on 600 can become second. Like it's just a question of who gets the most problems because there are lots of solved problems already. Sharif University has shown that P2, P3, P5 are all solvable. BCE.
Mhm. I see. So,
Right now, I guess
uh,
CMI is in a good spot because they have one of the more doable problems left, deletable. Like they do not have P4.
I see. So overall, like, what do you think? Like, are participants performing at the level you were expecting them, or it's slightly lower? Or
Slightly lower, I think.
okay.
Like I
So
was
why?
expecting maybe till now 700s. It's at 600s instead.
Okay, I see. And which is your favorite problem in the set, by the way?
Favorite problem. Well, it hasn't been like okay. So the favorite is probably a construct Ubu. There
Okay,
are some other. Um, B is also nice counting distance arrays.
okay.
I think like A, B, and D are my favorite problems. Deletable sub-arrays as well because it's a
Uh,
like kind of interesting observation.
I see, and I think deleted subarray was the first problem that if university solved, and
Sharif
like,
University solved. Yes, they solved it in 10 minutes. I was very astonished by that.
okay, so like,
Like
what was?
the code is only like 10 lines, 15 lines, but the idea is pretty not that easy.
Yeah, I see. And like, what do you think? Like, how many problems would be required for the World Finals slot? Let's assume like there would be 10 slots in the World Finals from this
10
contest,
slots.
ignoring assuming like I don't know what the correct number is. Last year and last to last year there were around 10 teams from this contest, and
Okay.
so like that's let's take that as a base
I guess
assumption,
it will be
and
600 and very high 600. So like
okay,
I'm
so
expecting the top 10 to be mostly 800 and 700, but 600 would barely
mhm.
qualify, like the best 600.
Okay. In the past, what we have seen is generally like teams up to rank 15 qualify because generally the champions universities for the
Yes,
rank.
yes.
Okay, so you expect around fast to solve six problems would can be the cutoff line for top 15
Six
teams.
will definitely be at least a cutoff, and I think it will be also the real like the cutoff.
Okay, I see. So like people in the chat, like, do you have any questions for Shreyan? I think we will discuss some of the problems. I think I can bring in my whiteboard to even discuss some solutions.
Yes.
So far, I haven't discussed any of the problem solution yet, and
Okay.
that was mostly because like I haven't tried these problems yet. So
Yes, yes.
probably yeah. So that's where we were. I think like probably I like the way suffix array was presented. Like when I
Suffix array
first
was
read,
suffix. Yes, yes.
like because when I read the problem, I was like, okay, I can first copy paste my suffix array template, only to realize I don't need it.
Yes, exactly. There's
So
an like even unique subsequences count. I've given a like if you open the problem, you will see an unusual modulo.
yeah, I saw that. Like, do you know what is the reason for it? Was it to forbid some divisions or just for
It was to
numbering?
solve it for higher constraints. Like the normal solution you will get for up to 2e5 only. But I wanted like I saw that it's solvable for higher constraints, and I wanted to give this as a slight like unusual trick type.
Okay, so like, does the solution become significantly easier if you have the usual mod here?
It is not possible with the usual modulo in the given constraints.
Okay,
Like
and
you
that can be because denominator is playing some problem here. Is that becoming zero or something?
no, it's not becoming zero. If I tell you, it will spoil the problem. Like it will spoil the solving part of the problem.
Okay,
Because the
I
first
see.
idea is to come up with the answer and then to compute the answer.
Okay, I see.
We can do this first, I guess.
Okay, so I think I can leave first read out this problem for the chat, and 10 minutes later we can pick it. Okay, an array of length n is said to be good if and only if every subsequence of length n appears at most once in the. For example, A122 is not good because with length parameter m equal to 2 because subsequence 1 to appears twice. On the other hand, it would be good with length parameter n equal to 3. Given n and m, count the number of arrays A satisfying the following constraints. Length of A is n, all the elements are between 1 to n, and A is good. Since the answer can be large, outputted modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 8. Notice the unusual modulo. Now we have 1 to the power, we have t test cases, which is 10,000 test cases, and m is less than n, and everything is at least 2. So yes, like I think I can first start with what I would be thinking on probably 5 minutes later, and not the solution I have, but then we can brainstorm.
The how I came up
Mm.
with this problem was basically first I was like it was originally like second easiest problem with checking whether a sequence is good or not. And then I realized okay, I can also count the number of good sequences, and it's a decent observation. That's why I put the counting as well.
Okay, I see, Nick. I now I remember. I remember seeing the problem statement checking is yes or no, and there my
Yes,
idea was fix the prefix of k length, m minus k minus 1 length, and there should be no repetition in between. And like that
yes, something.
is,
Yes, it is something like that only.
yeah. And like that's how I can count. But the problem becomes now I can no longer iterate on I equal to 1 to m one way
Yes, yes. You need. I guess in your method, it needs a slightly more or slight observation.
yeah. Okay, people in the chat are asking like, will you make problems next year or will you participate? I think the answer
I
is
will be
going to be
participating.
right. Yeah, like modular can't be prime. Like the reason to choose not this as not prime is probably it's not solvable with that problem. The
It is
reason
not
we are yet to
solvable
find
time. In the given constraints,
and
it's not.
we are yet to find out why that is the case.
I mean, actually, it is solvable, but it is really hard.
Okay, okay, and I see.
Like it's just a well-known thing. I'm sure you will recognize it if once you see
Okay,
it.
okay, I see. Okay, yes, I think Sren is IYK. Like he has silver medals there. At least two silver
Yes,
medals, right? Or just one?
one.
One, okay, in the family. So that's where we are. And I think like I will probably just refresh this for the sake of it.
Middle's team solved 7 now.
Okay, nice. So on the spectrum, would we will see 7 ones. This robot is fixed.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, yes, just 30 seconds ago. Okay, I think I will bring in my whiteboard so that we can discuss the problem.
Sure.
Okay, one question like I think you registered for the Blitz Cup, but did you decided to skip it to focus
I
on
did not
preparing this
register for
exam?
Blitz Cup. Like, because there were so many like requirements which they had put 4 requirements that you have to satisfy each or all of them. So that's why I did not register.
No, it looks like commentary, etc. is not that hard requirement. Like the camera
Yes,
and
yes.
screen sharing is. So yeah, that's like I lost to 244 MHQ with the margin of 40 to 1, something like that. Like I just solved the first problem. I lost the second problem by 1 second, and then he
Yes,
solved
yes.
all the
I
remaining
saw
problems.
they showed your example as a participant who lost by 1 second.
Yeah, so that's where how it was. And I think tourist is crushing the guys by solving all the
To,
problems.
to tourist
Yeah.
no tourist lost one problem again last time.
No, like
It
the
will be
first
two.
contest, like the first contest seeding was based on the max rating. So there was one guy with 2400 as the max rating, and then there was tourist with 4009 as the max rating. And that pairing was 7-0. Like tourist solved all the problems.
Yes, yes. The today's second round was also 6-1. While geothermal
Right.
had 7-0 in the second round as well.
Right. So like it would be interesting to follow these
Two,
matches.
I think it will become tourist versus geothermal.
Yeah, that's possible. And like people are most excited about this match because probably for few meme
Tourist versus
reasons.
conqueror of tourist.
Like I think this was specifically added because of the username only. So that's very. So I think we can start with discussing this problem first. Unique subsequence counting. So like yeah. So what we have discussed so far is like how we can potentially find whether subsequence as all unique sequences or not. So like
So you
my
need a
first idea,
you need a mathematical characterization type before you can get to counting.
right? And I think like this is also one of the method you have said on your blog how to solve problems. The
Yes,
key
first you
idea
need
is
to
like the
first
first thing is
characterize the arrays, and then you have to put that into counting.
is the array, or which simply means find
Like
some properties
find
of the array
which are both necessary and sufficient.
to be unique for each array. At the same time, will ensure there are no duplications.
Yes. Also, there is one 700. Oh, right, I told that.
Find some unique property for each array. This property should be in such a way that you do not have 1 second. My screen is not visible. Is that the case?
Yeah, I was just seeing the other screen, like the
Okay.
contest screen.
Okay. Yeah, I think it should be visible. So yeah, what we were saying was we have to first characterize the array. Like, how does each array look like? Which essentially means some unique property for each array, such that if you count elements using that property, you won't see duplicates again. Neither you will count each array, like, and you will also end up counting all the arrays. I think that purpose. And now probably like how do we count that unique array would be another question. So so like the way I was looking at it, like my algorithm when I was trying to find like the unique elements, my idea was, let's say I picked the duplicate, like a sequence exists, j element, then m minus j minus one element, and this element exists somewhere, and the same element can also be chosen from somewhere. Like that is the
Yes.
easy. And my assumption was you will find some element like this for sure if there exists one subsequence more than one time.
Yes, basically there will be two close and equal elements,
Right.
and you can
So
find the exact distance. Like you can characterize using that, saying that okay, the distance between two adjacent occurrences should be less than
okay.
equal if it's less than equal to some quantity. Yeah, something like that. Less than
Okay.
equal to,
What I
right?
can say, yes. What I will say is like if there exists any two equal element with this distance, then the array definitely has more than two elements with
I
like
think
more
it is
than
m.
two subsequences with it.
I think it is n minus m. Like just
Okay.
slight. I think
I
it is
see.
n minus m. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the idea is if there are two equal occurrences at very close distance, then you can continue it to form bad subsequences. Let's just show an example of how.
Okay. Let's choose n equal to let's say 5, m equal to 2. And any example you would like to me to take? 1, 2,
1,
3.
2, 3, 2, and then 4.
Let's pick this one. So here, like, let's just even choose this as 3.
M equal to 3, yeah.
Yeah. So now one sequence you can choose is this 1, 2,
One, like
4.
let's like, and then 1, 2, 4, the other 1, 2, 4.
Yeah. 1, 2, 4. This
The
one
basic
because
idea is
like
prefix before first two and the suffix after the second two.
right. You can always choose them, and you can choose this as a substitute of each. And you see like the distance between them is
Less than equal to 2.
yes. I say so.
Exactly.
So probably the problem reduces. Then if I have to do it this way, then probably what I can do is I can first put unique elements for the first D elements, first D places, and then I can just forget. Like then I have
Yes,
probably
yes, yes,
fixed number of choices for each other.
yes. That is the idea.
It looks interesting. So here now our idea is we will have n places like this. We know D is equal to n minus n. So we know for sure like the first D places should have all the unique elements. And now when we jump onto this window, now we can reuse this number if we want. So like the number of choices here would be same as number of choices we had for this place.
Yes. So the first thing is n choose d, and the next all are n minus d.
Right. And then this element can be reused here. So like for the first D places we choose and choose D, and then we
And
can
not n
even
choose
permutate them.
d factorial. Yes.
And yeah, and then we can permutate them.
And
And
then
for
you will
the
get
remaining elements,
n
n
minus d to
minus
the power n minus d.
n minus D. Okay.
This simplifies to a
Now
much, like in terms
and
of m, it becomes much easier as well. The expression.
this is n minus D. This is n minus D factorial. This is n minus D to the power n minus D right now. And like now we can replace D with n minus m. So this will D is equal to n minus m. This simplifies to n factorial by m factorial into m to the power m. Okay, now and
Now you see why it's not solvable with prime mod easily.
okay, so we need to compute m factorial in some way, and n is up to 10 to the power 9. So if
Yes.
it's m is small, then we can probably use CRT or something to get it. Was that the intention or something else?
No, like that is not the intention of the problem at all. It will be quite hard.
Okay.
Like even if you
Yeah.
compute n factor, if you compute m factorial correctly, it can be zero, and then you're dividing by zero, so the answer is invalid.
No, like if like the number is up to 10 to the power 9.
Okay, you can use CRT, I guess. Yes.
Yeah. So like the numbers are up to 10 to the power 9. And okay, wait 1 second, I see. Let's
But
solve it for
compute.
two cases. Let's solve it for two cases. First, let me just pick out why probably what happens if I try to use mod 10 to the power 9 and what will I will do. If I have mod, which is 10 to the power 9 plus 7, which is prime, then what I essentially need is some way to calculate large factorial up to 10 to the power 9.
Yes, and that is
And
a
that
that
is
is
a bit difficult.
yes, like
I
the
do
there
think
are
I do think there are solutions exist, but definitely the problem will not no longer be easier.
yes, the I think the easiest solution is not like there is one solution which uses the interpolation square root into log square or whatever. There's one
Right.
solution like that. There's a different solution which is pre-compute factorials at intervals of 10 to the power 6, and then you can find the like if you just insert them into an array, and therefore you have to only do small number of iterations every time. Like if you store the results for 10 to the power 6, 2 into 10 to the power 6, 3 into 10 to the power 6, like that.
I see, and actually I have done this in one of the course of long contests here. So,
Yes, but that won't
so
work here because mod is not prime and m factorial can be 0. So you can't really divide by 0.
right now our mod is 10
10
to
to
the
the power
power
9
9
plus 6.
plus 7,
So
9
first I
plus.
would ask you to find the prime factorization of this.
The prime factorization here it would be 2 into
Like
something.
not
Then
manually.
okay, look, I
You
think
can Google,
I will
Google
probably go further.
or write a code or whatever. Manually, it is not easy to factorize.
Okay. Okay, this is really small. 2, 3, 7, 9. So
Yes,
what we
this
can,
is
so one solution can be essentially we like computing this factorial for these small primes is really easy because like
and then
these will start becoming periodic.
yes, they will become periodic, and then you will use CRT. Yes, you can
Yeah.
do that, but it will be like it is an easy problem, and we are basically wasting a lot of time coding CRT and
Okay.
also periodic.
Okay. So what do you suggest then?
Well, observe that the
So
primes are pretty small. That is the observation is same from yours. So that means that n factorial will be equal to 0 for n greater than equal to 218. Why 218?
okay.
Because you can check like 218 has two occurrences of 109. 109 and 218 are divisible by 109. And then 218 has one occurrence of 167. So n factorial is equal to 0 for all n greater than equal to 218.
And this also brings in the problem if the difference of n minus m is more than 218, then numerator
Yes,
would be
yes.
0.
So the idea we use is that n choose m is an integer. That means that n minus m factorial divides n factorial by m factorial. Let me go back there.
Right.
The formula we had.
Right. So this would be an integer.
Yes. No, not that integer. Into n minus m factorial would also be an integer. Integer
Right.
into
Okay.
n minus m factorial.
This is an integer. So
N choose m is an
NCM,
integer.
this is also an integer. And if you then multiply this by n minus m factorial, that is also an integer,
Yes.
which it turns out to be n factorial by m factorial.
Yes.
And what we can also say it the other way is like for the given mod, if you multiply 218 consecutive numbers, the value will always be 0, whether they are
Yes.
first 218 numbers and so on. So
Or any
this
218 numbers, the value will become 0.
so now we can probably add a check in the code, something like that. If the
If n
difference of
great
n minus m is more than 218, print 0. Otherwise, run a for loop to find this factorial.
yes, that is the solution.
Let's see.
The few errors that have come over there are mostly because of people using n minus like they put a smaller bound like 200. A lot of people put 200.
Okay. 218 is the precise bound here.
218 is a precise bound.
Let's see. So I think it's like this is interesting, and like we had a choice even if we wanted to make a hard or expect people to probably know some Chinese blogs where they calculate mod in square root and log n. Then also we
I
can.
think like this is similar to the suffix add thing. Like there are ways you can solve it in complicated ways, but they are just time taking. Like they will eat up your time.
Right. Number of
Also,
teams that are
Sharif now has
solved.
10
Okay, Sarif has solved once.
majority graph.
Majority graph is also done. So, like your favorite construct, you is the remaining problem.
Yes.
And the team has around almost 2 hours to solve the remaining
Yes.
problem.
They will probably get it.
Yeah. So Sarif has 10 problems, and then we have Mridul IIT Delhi with 7 problems, CMI with 6 problems, and more teams. Okay, like the main observation for this problem is like the modulo is unusual, not the prime one. And the idea
Yes.
was if you look at the prime factorization here, you can see like for 167 to divide, like let's say when this value will become 0 for some x consecutive numbers. If there are 167 consecutive number, then one of them must be divisible by 167. Similarly, if you look at 7 consecutive numbers, one of the element must be divisible by 7. And similarly, if you look at 200 consecutive numbers, then both of them must then that number must be divisible by 109 square. because first 109 there would be one multiple of 109. For the last 109 there would be one multiple of 109. And similarly, if you look at for all of these, what you will notice is if you look at any consecutive 218 numbers, and all of these prime numbers would be multiple of them, and that gives us like probably this was the formula we came up with. And the observation here was if the difference of n and m is more than 218, you can directly print 0. Otherwise, you can start taking numbers from m plus 1, m plus 2 up to n to find the product of this value and then multiply it with m to the power n. And essentially, this ends up being the solution. If the question is how do we calculate this value, then I think I can summarize it again. And yes, like this is ACMS championship contest. So like at this point, almost more than half of the teams have solved this problem with 38 aces here. And okay, one more question. Like, how did we came up with this story? Like, what we know is like we first asked people to check whether a sequence has more than 2 elements or not, and then we created the counting version of it. But any story or something like how did you came up with even the checking version as well?
Not really any story like that. I was trying to solve an even harder version, like if there are if a subsequence can occur at most k times, but that wasn't very useful.
Okay, so the case with Serif University was I was looking at Iran contest, regional contest rank list. The top 3 teams were Serif universities. All of them had solved all the problems. And the only
Okay.
reason why we see one Serif university here is because champion, in case
Yes,
of
yes,
champion institute, only winner can participate.
yes.
So it's like all 3 of the teams were more like higher rated or probably were better than all the other teams in the SLS to begin with.
Not
So
maybe not Asia West, depends.
okay, yeah, but I'm not sure how difficult the Iran contest was. I was assuming it would be hard,
Hmm.
similar to ASL. So that's where we are. I think we can just briefly summarize jagged operation as well. I think I briefly
Sure.
looked at one of the submission, and we can also complete suffix array to begin with.
You can just code it right now.
Yeah, suffix array, like we can see, yeah. Suffix array problem, I think I have read it before, but let's read it again. You are given a string s of length n. The suffix strings of s are non-empty strings which can be formed by deleting some possibly 0 characters from the beginning. That is, for each I, the substring si to sn is a suffix of n. There are n minus n suffix of length greater than or equal to 2. Your task is to sort the suffix strings of s in lexicographical increasing order and then print the second character for each of the strings. So what problem statement asks us to do is we have been given some string. Let's look at ASIA WEST. We have multiple strings here. One of them is Asia West. Then we have SIAWEST if we ignore the first character. Then we also have IAWEST. Then we have AWEST. Then we have WEST. Then we have EST. Then we have ST, and then we don't have to take it. Now the first task is to sort them in increasing order. So like this would be the first string in the sorted order. This would be the second string in the sorted order. This would be third string in the sorted order. This would be fourth string in the sorted order. This would be fifth string in the sorted order. This would be sixth string, and this would be seventh string. Now for each of these string, we have to print the second character here. SIAWE SNT, like you can print in the sorted order. But if you try to do it natively by creating n such strings, the total length you will have is n square, and then sorting them, and n is up to 2e5, so that will definitely TL here. And the crux of this problem was you just need the first two characters for each of these two, not all of them. Like let me put it this way. Let's say we have A, W, B, B, A, A. Then I don't really care what explicit order A, W, B, B, A, this complete string, and this complete string has. Doesn't matter how you decide to sort them. The second character will always remain same. So the idea is you just create two length strings here, because you have to just print the second character of this string. You don't have to print from what is the starting index of that string to begin with. So you don't have to really go and break the type based on third, fourth, and so character and so on. So you just get all the strings of length 2, then you sort them and you print second character on that string. So this was the idea for the suffix array one. Like almost every team has solved this problem, and this is the idea. Like you just create strings of length 2, then you sort them, and then you print the next character for them. So yes, a neat trick. So this was suffix array. Then we also had jagged operation. An array of size n is called jagged if and only if there exists
I
some
cannot see
triplet
it on
I.
the screen. I cannot see jagged
Okay.
operations on the screen. Okay, now I can.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, so the next problem is jagged operation. An array of length that is called jagged if and only if there exists some triplet of indexes I, j, and k, such that ai is greater than aj and aj is less than ek. You are given an array A and you want to make it not jagged. To do this, you can do the following operation as many times as. Choose LR next, where x is an integer, then add x to all the indexes between L and R. Formally set AI is equal to AI plus x. Find the minimum number of operations needed. And essentially, some examples here 2, 1, 2, like we will have to change this 1 to something, because you see if we choose these 3 indexes, then we are good. And like, okay, this is any sequence here.
The sample is really helpful.
Right. 2 and 1, 1, 1, like the answer is not required here. So probably if I have to put it as an array here, the idea is I will have some elements A1, A2, A3, and so on up to Pn. And one more thing I can do is I can probably create it as a graph where I have I comma ai point here. Then if you see 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2 looks like this. And this is not allowed because now you can choose this element and these elements, and that creates a problem. So the only choice you can have here is you first increase elements.
First increase and then decrease.
And then just decrease. because once you decrease, you can no longer again increase it. Now you have a problem.
Because it will create a valley, like.
So the idea is, then you can choose some index up to which you want to increase, let's say ith index, and some index after which you just want to decrease everything. And the question would be like, let's say, but the original graph can be like this.
X can also be negative. Just saying.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you can in fact even decrease elements of it. So we can even make it like this. Then the idea is like, we want to know how many times we will have to increase something to make it increasing here.
Increase
Here
the
we
range.
know
Increase or
the
decrease the range.
Right. So here we will have to at least make some changes between these 2 points so that this element is more than this. And we don't have to do anything here. And also we will have to do something between these 2 elements so that this element is more than whatever element we have. With that said, now here also we will have to do something between these 2 elements as well, so that this is an increasing sequence. And overall the idea was, for every operation you do, you can fix one element on this side and one element on this side. So in this particular case, you will probably need 2 operations here. In one operation you can potentially fix this and this with some very large enough x, and then in one last operation you can probably fix here, and then you can probably check for each I what is the changes you require. And is that correct here?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Like, what is? I sorry, I did not hear exactly. What is the idea?
My idea was like, I would look at consecutive elements, and if I have to make a prefix of length I increasing, then I want to know like what all changes I will have to make between each consecutive pair of elements here. So in this particular case, if I want this element to be more than this, but because blue is the line which denotes decrease, I will have to make something different over here. That was the first thing I was doing.
Yes.
And then here, like, this is the element, and
Okay,
this
so
is the next
you're
element.
saying that, okay, you will find the number of values in the prefix and values in the suffix and then increment them, or
No,
something like that.
I was counting like number of like, for the prefix part, I am trying to count number of elements.
Yes.
Where
Okay. I got
AI
it.
is greater than AI plus
Yes.
1
Yes.
on this side.
Yes. This is nearly correct. Nearly correct.
And
Because
on
it's
this side,
wrong.
and on this side, I will count elements like this. And my idea was, I can try to fix one such element on this side with one such element on this side by fixing off
Okay.
by taking up
So
large enough care.
yes. So the idea is to do max of these, like the max of the two. Like if
Right.
x is the number of changes on the left and y is the number of changes on the right, you can change both x and y in one move. So it's max of xy and not x plus y.
Right. Again. So the idea is, you can, in one operation you can fix one thing on this side and one thing on this side.
Yes.
So if you need 5 fix here and 3 fix here, in the first 3 fix you can remove 3 elements from here and fix 3 together, and then for the remaining 2 you can just make changes here. So overall max of,
I think it like makes a lot more sense to see it in difference array terms.
okay, so we can also create it as a difference array where di is difference of ai plus 1 minus ai. So in that case, what we need is, up to the ith element, all the elements should be positive, and here like all the elements should be negative in D array. Along with the same time, if we are doing ai plus x for l less than equal to I less than equal to r, then you can notice, like, let's put it this way. We have this array, and like difference array, like first element is difference between these two. Then if you have a difference, if you increase everything from L to R by some plus X, then like first only the difference between these two elements will change, which would essentially be like one of the difference increases by plus X, and here like one of the difference will decrease by plus X, something like that. So it's kind of this minus this difference here has increased by plus X here, and this minus this has decreased by plus X. So essentially what you are doing is you have a difference array, you make one of the element as plus X and one element after that as minus X there. So and what you need is difference array of first I element should be all greater than equal to 0, and difference array of last I element as all less than equal to 0. So essentially you can look at how many negative element exist, how many positive element exist, and you can fix them in one go. And this was problem Z sequence, and I think so far we have discussed the first three elements, first three problems.
We can discuss the LCM problem, I guess.
Yeah, I think like I will first give it to the chat to
Yes.
even think for 5 minutes here. So we have been given an integer and we need to find a range L to R satisfying the following constraints. L is less than R, this is important, and both of them can be up to 10 to the power 18. And if we take LCM of these elements, the LCM is L. And if no such range exists, we print -1 here. And we have to solve it for 10 to the power 5 tests. So in the answers, like there can be no two elements whose LCM is 1. So the answer is -1. We can have 1 and 2 where LCM is 2. We can have 1, 2, and 3 where LCM is 6. We can have 1, 2, 3, 4 where the LCM is 12. And it says we can print any such valid range, right? So even we have to be able to check if a participant has printed, let's say, for example, 2 and 10 to the power 9. So like running a for loop to find LCM for them would be a bit difficult. So that's where we are. So rank list right now is Sarif with 10 solves. Then we have on the spectrum from IIT Delhi with 7 solves. Then we have Subtask Ware with 7 solves.
There's a lot
Then
of
we have
choices.
ISAR with 6 problems. And all the top 4 teams are regional winners. Then we have IIT Roorkee, Hey I Do CP with 6 solves. Then we have IIT Indore, 404 solution not found with 6 solves. Then we have IIT Kanpur with 4 doing with 6 solves. Barak University, BRACU Pros with 6. University of Tehran, Sensodyne with 6. IIT BHU, Pucha Kya with 6. Sehzal University of Science and Technology with 6. IIT Kanpur again with 6 problems, segment track. So the problem here is like segment track will have to solve one more problem. Like not just they have to be in the top place where they are, but they have to also beat the other IIT Kanpur team to be there over there. Because only one team from one college can qualify. Then IIT BHU again prefer not to say. So they will have to also solve at least one more problem and beat Pucha Kya to qualify. Then we have IIT Roorkee again, BART MSKs. Now they will have to also beat another IIT Roorkee team, Hey I do CP to qualify for. So they potentially need two more problems here. Then we have BUET team with 5 solves. And then we have IIT Bombay DDD with 5 solves and so on. So this is current like this. We are around 3.5 hours into the contest. Teams roughly have 85 more minutes to solve. And I
There's a
think I
lot
will
of
just, yeah, like definitely a lot of choices here. Like most of the
like
teams
lot
have
of
solved six
choices in the
problems.
top places as well.
Right,
Like if you check the top people, they have all different choices of what they have done in B, C, D, E.
right. So if I look at the rank list again, like there's although everyone is at 7 and 6, but the number of problem solves are pretty distributed here. So everyone can choose what their favorite type of problem is. And try to get it in. And this also shows that all of these problems are solvable, and one can potentially solve 9 problems here. So, and it is, since we don't know their computer, it is also possible that few folks are even solve code for multiple problem study, but few mistakes they are making, so they don't have any C.
I don't think there are that many WAs like on the harder problems. Most of them just get direct AC.
So that's where we are, and I think I will just read out Trinite as well, so that we can probably
Let's
discuss
do the
it.
LCM problem first.
No, I was thinking of just reading it out and keeping it.
Okay, sure.
Here. Trinite, have you ever managed? Imagine how a chess knight will move on a triangular grid. A triangular grid is a grid with each point has 6 neighbors formed in 60-degree angles. The coordinates are written with respect to two axes, and this problem two axes have an interior angle of 120 degrees. This very good diagram shows it how this is working here. XY is a point that is reached by taking x steps of unit length along with horizontal axis, and then y steps along an oblique axis. Please check the diagram. Adjacent point, the points adjacent to x comma y are x plus y, x plus 1 comma y, x plus 1 comma y plus 1, x comma y plus 1, x minus 1 y, x minus 1 y minus 1, x comma y minus 1. On the grid, a trinite movement on one point A is defined as follows. First, it selects a point B adjacent to A. Then it selects to a point C adjacent to B so that the angle ABC is obtuse. So probably ABC, like this angle must be obtuse. This is one step. And then this is another step. So if you see, essentially, it took +2 in X and +1 in Y. Similarly, here it took +2 in Y and +1 in X. The above picture shows the grid and the coordinate system and how one can move from 3, 3 in 2 modes. Notice that the grid note that the grid extends infinitely on all directions, including negative. Given x, y on an infinite triangular grid, find the minimum number of movement required for trinite to move from 0, 0 to x, y. If the trinite is never able to visit that point, report -1. So on like that, the problem statement we have. The rank list is not frozen yet. We have around 30 more minutes, 20 more minutes. And in fact, actually, when the contest freezes, we will also end this stream. So I think we can start with discussing LCM on rails to begin with. So like if you have to come up with a hard upper bound, like we just noticed that for the if we choose x consecutive element, then that number must be divisible by x, right? We saw the same observation while looking at
Divisible by?
unique subsequent x. If we choose
Yes,
product
yes.
of x numbers, yeah.
Yes.
Or other way to put it is if we look at x individual element, then one of the numbers must be divisible by x. So that gives us a very hard upper bound. Let's say if we choose 20 different L2R range is more than 20. then that element must be divisible by 20. That one of the element must be divisible by 19. One of the element must be divisible by 18, and so on. Or essentially, what I can say is for all the prime factors that are between what, or other way to put at it is like this element must be divisible by 20 factorial. No, I cannot say 20 factorial here, but I can say at least all the prime factors that appear in between them must be divisible by this number and so on. And that essentially gives us some bound on like the difference in r comma l here, because n is up to 10 to the power 18 only. So that was the first observation here. And probably that was one. And let's say we also know that GCD of two consecutive numbers x comma x plus 1 is 1, because in the next step you will pick GCD equal to x comma x mod this, which is 1, and this turns out to be 1. So LCM of x comma x plus 1 is essentially x into x plus 1. And similarly, like the idea is, if you let's try to look at LCM of three comma consecutive number. Which we can say like is equal to LCM of x comma x plus 1, and first we find the LCM of first two numbers, and then we find also the LCM of the third number, and this will turn out to be LCM of x comma x plus 1 comma x plus 2. And what you can probably notice here is like potentially 2 is the only common factor here to begin with. 3 cannot divide both the elements here, and any number more than 3. So again, like the LCM would again be either x into x plus 1 x plus 2, or the LCM would be x into x plus 1 x plus 2 by 2, something like that. Now this gives us some proof that if we chose L more than at least 10 to the power 6, then the only range we can have potentially is L and L plus 1, like just two numbers.
Not 10 to the
We
power 6,
cannot.
like 10 to the power 6 into like some constant, small constant.
Okay,
Cube root
okay,
of 6, cube root of 2.
Yeah, right, because we also have 2 here. So cube, or probably let's just put it, let's say we choose L to be more than into 2 into 10 to the power 6.
Yes.
Now this number, or if we put this number would be more than 4 into 10 to the power 18. So the idea here was we can just brute force and find out all the possible LCM as long as left endpoint is more than 2 into 10 power 6. Pre-compute. All possible LCM where else where L is less than 2 into 10 to the power 6. That was the first thing. And we just noticed that we cannot have R minus L more than 20 or something like that. And you will realize like this number decreases even further. So like the time complexity here would be around big of 2 into 10 to the power 6 into some constant number here. And which is enough to do it for all the cases. Now the question is, what happens if we have an n that does not appear in these pre-computed values to begin with? Then the idea is, because we know that for anything outside this, LCM is simply x into x plus 1, because we must choose two elements. We can try to binary search to find the one of the element such that mid plus 1 is less than equal to n. At the same time, mid plus 1 is less than equal to mid plus 2. And the idea is then we can just check if m or m plus 1 as a left endpoint and one value more than that as a right endpoint solve this problem or not. This was the idea for LCM range, which is at this point has been solved by half of the teams.
I'm a bit surprised by the teams. Like I expected it to. Okay, I guess there are enough solves, half solves. Still, I like it was very slow in the beginning, and I guess people also had a lot of wrong answers or TLEs.
Right. Okay, I'm surprised people are even doing double here. Like they don't really need this typecasting. Like, so what people have done is iterated on all left front from 1 to 1.3 E6, which is approximately less than cube root of 2. And then keep going on R as long as LCM is less than 1E18, otherwise break. Then take LCM and if put it in a map with the endpoints here. They have a global map and value with pair of map. This is LCM range. So now when they are solving it, they first read N as input.
I would be
One
scared to use a
thing,
map with 10 to the power 6 elements, like more than 10 to the power
no,
6 elements.
I just do it. If it's more than
Okay,
5E6 or 1E7, then I see whether I should I use an ordered map or something else. But
I just use vector, like vector. Why not vector and then sort it? Since
yeah,
I
and then
only
you
need
can use lower bound there. That's definitely
yes,
possible. That's feasible when if your elements are fixed. If it's
if
keep
yes,
changing,
if I
then
have to first insert and then find, then it's feasible.
right. And then what folks are doing is one if they have a pre-computed answer, they are printing it. Otherwise, they are just doing a binary search to find the first element where mid plus mid is less than that. And we know that LCM of x and x plus 1 is that. So they are just checking if. So now what they are doing is they are using some binary search to figure out does there exist two elements with product equal to n. If the answer is yes, you can print that as a range. Like there are ways even you can try to factorize and using polar algorithm or not if you just want to overkill this problem. And then look at all the devices of n and see can you find two consecutive devices. But that's what we are. And essentially this was the solution for LCM range here. So we have around 11 more minutes for rank list trees, and that would be the time when we will potentially end this stream as. So that's where we are, and I
By the
think
way,
we this
you
is
know that the problem statements are out on the Google Drive, right?
yes. Look, I think I did mention it on the stream as well, but I think I can just put it in. Like the Codeforces blog link is pinned in the chat. You can look at Dominator's blog here, and you can find problem statements here. And like the
And there's
same
also
guys
the
will be
public rank
in
list over
yeah. And you will also
there.
find editorial here and model solution here once the contest is the same way. And
Yes,
this is
eventually.
tentative public link, which you can see what all teams are doing. So like construct UW is the only unsolved problem so far. And Sarif team has probably an hour even to solve that problem. Okay, looks like they did not make any sense here. And on rank 2, we have on the spectrum with sound problems, ISAT CMR with sound problems, subtaskware with sound problems, and then IIT BHU Pucha Kya with sound problems, IIT Indore solution not found sound problems, IIT Roorkee Hey Hey I Do CP sound problems, Code Dwang IIT Kanpur 6 problems, Barak University Barak Pros 6 problems, University of Tehran Sensodyne sound problems, Sajal University of Science and Technology 6 problems, SUSC Funding 6, IIT Kanpur segment track 6 problems, IIT BHE preferred not to say 6 problems, and then we have IIT Roorkee, BITAM SKS 5 problems, and UET Bangladesh University of Science and Technology with 5 problems. And then there are many teams with 5, 4. So,
I guess there will be eventually 9 solves.
right. Like, I hope so, but I doubt because the distribution is high. We will have 8 problems definitely, but let's see 9 or not. I'm confident none of these team will solve 10 problems here.
10 problems won't be happening. Like there's only
Yeah.
an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. So this is the place where you can see the current rank list for all the teams, and probably this would be taken away when. Okay, someone is asking, can I play piano behind me? No, I can't. Okay, I no longer have a piano with me. Yeah, and that's where we are. And one question is, will I be streaming on Twitch more often? What I will end up doing now is I will just stream both on YouTube and Twitch together, and folks can choose where they want. So that's where we are. How many teams will go ahead excluding regional winners? Like the number is not fixed and it's generally decided after all the contests are over. And generally what I have seen is teams with rank up to 15 do qualify here. Yes, Dominator is not participating in ICPC in this contest. The primary reason is you can go to World Finals 2 times, only 2 times. And
There
the
is
thing is
800.
Dominator. Yeah. Okay, and the thing is, Dominator has already qualified in his first year, so he now wants to maximize his better. He want to score better when he participates the next time. So he want to get more stronger first, and then participate in ICPC. So Saptas were from Triple IT Hyderabad has solved 8 problems, and they do not have
And they
any
should
time
get like,
penalties.
oh, they have no, yeah,
And
they have 0 time penalties. And
yes,
B is doable, like pretty easy for them, I would say, because
and distance array.
yes.
I see.
I think the subtasks were like, if you check the D solution, I think it's one of the shortest I've seen. Like there is, my model is longer than that because I use hashing, and they have some small to large, I think, but it's implemented very short.
This problem. Right?
Just check the submission once.
Wow. This problem is.
That is like one of the shortest solutions to any of the problems.
Right. The shorter than this are just print and problems or
Yes.
print input. And is this the problem they solved? Okay, that's all the time. Okay, probably 4.5 more minutes, and we will probably end up ending the stream because we want rank list to be frozen, so we don't want to
Yes.
release the results. So, so probably people in the chat, if you have some questions for Shreyan, this you have probably 2-3 more minutes to ask them before we wrap it up for the night. How would you rate each problem based on Codeforces rating? I think we do have some internal rating for each of the problems,
So
which
the
may
rating I
probably.
had was pretty inaccurate. Like I wasn't good at the counting is fun problem. I found it hard. Anyways, I'll just rate it. Like, can you sort them by the name?
Okay, done.
Okay, I'll just say in this order only. So first I suffix array. I thought I is like 800, and then we have jagged operations. I thought that's 1100, 1200. Then there is unique subsequences count at 1600, LCM range at 1600. Trinite I thought is 1800. Delete subarrays I thought is 2300. Counting is fun I thought is 2700. Count distance arrays is 2200. Greedy prices was 2200. Majority graph was again 2700, and construct uvu was 2600. That
So,
was my predictions.
and
Some of them are inaccurate, especially I guess construct uvu and deletable subarrays maybe, and the the problem with that counting is fun, right? I wasn't able to solve counting is fun for quite, like, I wasn't able to solve it at all.
so that 5 teams are solved it. Yes. So, like, do you watch anime?
No.
Okay, then I can call it a cartoon. Yeah, like folks who are just asking your favorite anime. So, like, probably I know people get offended, and sometimes that's the only reason I just use that name for anime. But yeah, sorry.
What?
Basically, sometimes I end up calling anime a cartoon just because I know someone who I'm talking to
Okay.
will get offended due to it. What is your
Okay.
hardest? Yeah, like what is your hardest recent problem, and what is the general genre of hard problems you like?
What is the general genus of hard problems that I am able to solve? And what is my recent
Like
hardest?
basically what you
Recent,
like. Yeah.
what I like to solve.
Yeah.
So like I don't I hard problems that I've liked, but I can't really give characterizations like that because it's kind of hard to classify problems at the higher levels. Exactly what is this problem? Because it is not just one specific thing. And even if I like a problem of one specific type, it can be that pro- it is because something unique to that problem. I'll just send problems that I've liked recently, which are hard.
Okay, that was one, and I think
Okay,
probably since
actually, I'll
I
just send one whole contest. I'll just send one whole contest because that has uh, three problems that I really like E2, F, and H.
I think you can send it.
Uh,
I
I
download.
I solved F in contest. I would get E2 if I had an hour more or something because it is taking a lot of time. And H was hard but good. Like I upsolved it in like 2 hours. E2, F, and H, those are all three hard problems which are of different types, but I liked solving each of them.
I see, and this contest also had some prizes, I believe. With the not sure. But, yeah, like this was in fact a recent contest. So probably Shinchan or Doraemon. Like I think I have watched Doraemon a lot, but did not like Shinchan. And now you can question like this is also an anime. I agree that there. Favorite Stanford lecture? Like, do you have any favorite
The Stanford
like
lecture?
yeah. Like folks are just asking it and I'm just reading it out for the last one. So yeah. I think probably we now have a hard stop because like the regular list is frozen now.
Yes, it should
So
be.
we can so I think I will probably end up stop sharing my screen and that's all I think we have. So thanks everyone who has joined us today and thanks Rain a lot for creating this contest. The problems were really nice in all of the contests. And
No,
wish you all the best for next year's ICPC
thank you, thank
and hope you get a good rank in the World
you.
Finals.
Thank you.
Okay. So, thanks a lot, Stan, and thanks everyone who has joined here. I think we will wrap up this way.
Bye.
Bye. Well, like CodeChef rank list is not public, so we don't have like even if I say that rank, you will not be able to access it. So I think that's all we had. Like the key was Bellman Peak had 8 problems, Subtasphere had 8, and then few teams with 7, 6. Like I think I can just say like the final rank list, so people who join later they can just look at their favorite teams. So like this is just so this rank list is 4 minutes before the freeze. So you can probably look at your favorite teams here later. And it may happen that this will be taken down as well. So this is 1 minute before the freeze. Bellman peak at 10, Subtasphere at 8. On the spectrum, ISAT at 7. All 4 teams have qualified for the World Finals. Then we have Pucha Kya 7, 404 Solution Not Found 7. Hey Hey I Do CP, Code Blank. Barack Cross, Sensodyne, SUSG Fanatics. Segment Track, Prefer Not to Say, DDD. Exit Boys. Bytam 8 SKS, BUET Quasar, and ICPC, and then so on from MIT Teaching. I roughly expect around at least the teams in top 15 to definitely qualify, but we don't know about the remaining teams. So that's all we had. Like the final, this is how the final rank list looks. First 30 teams here. Let me just wait for 10 seconds. And then the second half is like this. So thanks everyone for joining today, and we will end as soon now.